The responsibility on ABC to air this thing unedited, how important will that be to get a real clear look at how the president is doing and what he's thinking?
Well, it's just one interview, and if it's unedited, God bless him. But Biden's got to be excellent in this interview. It'll be off the cuff. It won't be scripted. And the problem that Biden has is that what's at issue is his age and mental acuity. None of us are perfect, no matter what age we are. And he's got to nail it, but then he's got to keep nailing it, because the episode on the debate is one thing, but if this is a condition, it'll show itself in the next week or two. The challenge for the Democrats is, I'm not sure we have a next week or two in order to figure this out as to whether Biden stays or Biden goes, because we've got a convention 6 weeks from now. We've got a race. And guess what? You and I and Malik are talking about Biden, whether he stays in the race or not. And we're not talking about Donald Trump and his lying through the debate, or Donald Trump's policy on retribution if he wins. And he's ahead in the polls right now. So the Democrats are losing in the media piece. They haven't been able to get ahead of it. And they got to get ahead of this story in order for, whether it's Biden or Harris, in order to move forward and defeat the Republicans in November. The problem with Biden and Biden-Harris, the campaign, is not only that you had a bad performance, bad performance, but then it's been 6 or 7 days and you have not gotten out ahead of this story. You keep reacting to this story because you either want to tell us that we're bedwetters, or do you believe me or your lying eyes? And we saw what we saw. And so you've almost insulted, or you lack credibility, or you insult us by saying, well, that was just a bad night. Well, no, you saw a very elderly person who could not put his words together and could not counterpunch, right, and hold Trump accountable. That's disturbing. So Biden's got to outrun that. He's got to outrun it by having several impromptu or press conferences or something where he's not scripted, because the donor base, right, now you see the money dry up. Before that, you saw Democrats in the House down ballot who are in tough races say he should withdraw or resign. And then the media has been talking about this for a week. This is not good. And so, as my mother used to say, you got to make a decision. They're not good decisions or bad decisions. They're decisions, and you got to make them right. Do something, but you got to stop this news cycle, because you're losing donors. And the next thing that's going to drop is the polling is going to come out 2 or 3 days from now, and it's going to show lower support. Now you're losing voters. You got to do something to stop the hemorrhaging. Whoever's around him got a tough position or tough job, right? I can't grade their performance because I'm not on the inside. I can tell you the results of this performance, and I got to tell you, we're still talking about this. But Biden, the real problem with Biden, Marnie, is this. Biden's old, right? He looks old, he walks old, he speaks as an elderly. It's almost ageism or age discrimination, but it's what people see. And politics is as much about perception as reality. So every time you put him out front, whether he does well or not, he's reminding the voting public of his age. There's nothing wrong with being 81. He's shown that he can govern for sure the last 3.5, 4 years. The question is he capable of prosecuting the case against Trump? Can he deliver on this message? Because we believe that there are more voters for him as a Democratic nominee than for Trump. But those Democrats, they're not leaving Biden to go to Trump. They're leaving Biden and just not voting or being disillusioned. That's as good as a vote for Trump. And that's why Trump is being silent and letting this thing spin out of control. Actually, Harris is super popular with the Democratic base. She's never been popular with the Republicans. I don't know what any former vice president has ever done to get to be a, quote, strong vice president. But Harris is popular with our gay Democrats, our young Democrats, women. She leads the fight on anti-abortion. She leads the fight on racial diversity. And that actually shores up where we've been leaking voters under Biden. And so you bring those voters back, they coalesce around her, and actually she's within striking distance of the most recent polls against Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump and the Republicans are going to have a real problem attacking her in a way that they haven't had the same problems attacking Biden, if you will. You take the age issue off. She can prosecute the claim against Trump. She's a litigator, former prosecutor, former senator, and I think she would propose real problems for the GOP.